What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Dead man! Dead man walking!
Never talk to me like that again, you hear me? Huh?
You come at the king, you best not miss.
Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones definitely in the building, connecting with us. They come in here to pack up, to gang up on Brother Prince today and put him in his place, right? But listen, man, I hope everybody's weekend is going well so far. I'm going to say something that I often say to you guys. We used to say it every day. It used to be the beginning of the mantra of our entire show. Listen, for everybody's not an entrepreneur. I promise this, most people not about that life. It's easier to work for somebody else, right? Most people are not entrepreneurs. So instead, what I suggest to you guys, be more realistic. For those of you who know you have what it takes to get for those of you who know you have what it takes to get a trade or a skill set of some kind, you need to get focused on that. I'm going somewhere with this. Those of you who already have a good paying job, this is one thing that we condemn and speak against here on the Real Stacey Prince Media. A lot of you guys won't open your mouth, and you don't even know that that's keeping you from getting something that you never even thought you would qualify for. And I'm going to say this again. I've told people, but we have a new audience today. I've told people several times. There was someone who was in my life, right? And this woman, she's like something corporate executive assistant like that, right? And she was thinking about leaving LA, and I don't think she was serious, but she threw her resume out there. She always wanted to be in San Diego. Somebody in San Diego bit the hook, right? The people in San Diego, once they saw her qualifications, she even went down there, right? She even went down there to, meet the people, this and that. And then when she went back and told her job, they were like, well, no, we simply can't afford to lose you, and da-da-da-da-da. They offered her $15,000 more annually to stay. She went back to San Diego and told the people, I appreciate you guys so much for, the consideration. Listen, long story short, it started a bidding war, and the people in San Diego won. Right? I think this girl ended up getting like $20,000 a year extra. My point is this. She said this to me. She said, Stacey, I didn't even know I was worth that to my people. She never thought to bring it up. She never thought to bring it up. Now she's living where she always wanted to live. So my statement that I'm making to you guys is this. Don't ever get to the place to where you don't have enough backbone, because most people aren't entrepreneurs. In order to gain the type of comfortable lifestyle that we all seek, you have to rely on promotions and overtime. Overtime tends to beat people up and cause them to pass on earlier than what they should. So the only other better alternative is to get promotions within your job. There is nothing at all wrong with you saying, hey, Jim, listen, man, I've been wanting to say something to you, man, but I know Cynthia's been gone for about 3 months now. I'm telling you right now, I know her job like the back of my hand. Would you even try that? And if you don't know her job, the positions that you think would cause your life to be more comfortable, start studying that job at your place where you work. Start studying the jobs that you want, and then you move in and you let the higher ups know. Listen, I could save us, according to Dan's system right now. That's my manager in this all respect, but I have a system that will save this company X amount of dollars more right now than the current system. Life is really, really cool if you live in it on a scale of having at least your basic necessities met. Your basic necessities need to be met. So open your mouths, people. Open your mouths. All right, we're about to go ahead and get to the show. Listen, there's been conversation swirling around online, not to the extent where I took it to, but there has been conversation swirling around online about the relationships between men and women. And I think men are logical creatures. So it doesn't take us much. What am I looking for? It doesn't take us much to see something for what it really is. That's why we don't go through the delusion that women go through. We don't go through a lot of the things that women go through because we're not those caliber of creatures. we really see things. Why do you think men joan on each other? Why do you think men make fun of each other? Because what we see, the defects that we see in each other, hey man, you've been wearing that outfit, man, for about 3 days, man. Right? This is how men do. You guys lie to each other. You guys lie to each other. Give me a second. Uh uh Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm fixing something. Yeah, listen, see, we don't have to take the precautions and safety measures that women have to take. Women can get carried on. Women can get carried on and they can even start believing their own BS. Men don't typically have to worry about that. Now, what this does is this causes a rift in the ability to form relationships amongst each other, right? Because the truth of the matter is, let's go. Turbulence, people. If you didn't come equipped with sexuality, Amber JJ, most men wouldn't like most women. Look at your character traits. Some of you have girlfriends who you guys know, okay, we love her, right? We love her. She grew up with us. But when is this girl gonna get a damn job where we don't always have to buy her drinks? It bothers even you. So why the hell do you think we would want to be around somebody who's always wanting something? We don't. We deal with you to the extent that we have to. We'll even pay for it. But we will have our opinions about you. I want you guys to look out in society today. Just think about what you see in society today. And as far as women, and ask yourself, would this be a good friend? Would this be a good friend? Think about it and be honest about it. With what we know about most women today, because of American culture has done a number on today's women. It's done a number on them. Cosmopolitan magazine already did, what's that thing called? Give me a second. Cosmopolitan magazine already did a documentary admitting that, admitting that they received money and things like that to take women into a greater Sex in the City type of delusion so that they can become hyper consumers and things like that. That's insane. Listen, and the crazy part about it is when we tell you guys, listen, we all make mistakes. And none of us knows everything. None of us knows everything. But the jams that women get themselves into, they're life altering. They're life altering. And we'll see it. We'll be like, hey, listen, you making wrong moves. Even our little sisters, we'll tell them you making wrong moves, mess with him, this and this and that. So basically, we have to sit back and watch you guys destroy your lives. We have to watch you do it. Give me a second. We're finna put some things into motion. We're about to put some things into motion. I just need to plug this right here. Take that, take this, go there. Yeah, your brother kind of a whiz with this. Okay, take that. Appreciate you guys for being patient with your brother. I'm trying to make sure we have a popping show. Okay. Let's get Instagram in the building. What in the world? Give me a second, people. Give me a second. Yeah, Yeah, there it is. Why couldn't I pull it up? All right, people, we're about ready. But listen, today's show is going to be on some very blunt type. Like seriously, we have some clips that I want to show you guys. I don't like to often just talk without, substantiating the things that I'm saying to you guys. Because at the same token, my agenda is not to be up here and say a lot of mean things about women. I'm going to tell you guys why you hear men, and I agree with you. You know what, ladies? I agree with you. Men are doing a lot of complaining. They are. But the reason we're doing all of the complaining that we're doing is because not we think, but it's apparent you can't see the things that you do and are doing that we can see. Men do this. Listen. Okay, we're live. Men do this. Men say, okay, usually when girls have multiple children by multiple men, do their lives get better? No, we think about what happens. That's what we think about. We think about what we know typically happens in the lives of women who have 2 or 3 children by 2 or 3 different men. And when we see you going down that path, we're like, hey, what's wrong with you? Are you nuts? Do you know where that could lead? But you guys keep doing it. You guys keep doing it, and it's crazy to us. It's crazy to us to sit back and watch you guys destroy your lives. What I mean when I say destroy your lives, let me get this right. Listen, there's a difference in the things that men do in our lives that are detrimental, and there's a difference in the things that women do. When women make bad decisions, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It isn't all women, but because of the culture that America has created, it comes with the ability of dumbing people down. The trends and the fads that people get attached to in America are of low IQ material. Look at how our women don't even really talk for themselves. You can listen to most of our women in America and you can hear they all share the same TikTok verbiage. They get most of their education on TikTok. We hadn't never heard the word narrative used so many billions of times in a 6-month period. That's why these people start sounding alike. That's why they start looking alike, because they're getting their information from the same sources. You guys start saying things that don't mean anything, right? You start standing on things that shouldn't be stood on. So while I'm not saying all women, I will say about 70% of the women in America, if they weren't raised with their father in their life, you're going to catch yourself arguing about some dumb shit. Trust and believe. I think none of us are acknowledging what's going on. None of us are telling the truth about what we're seeing, not in a very blunt way. Listen, the DMs that I get on all of my platforms, I don't know how many a day I get, but it has to be at least 50, right, on my platforms. And I see a lot of men like, brother, I just wanted to tell you, man, thanks for standing up for us. Or they'll show me a clip of mine. They'll say, brother, I salute you for having the courage to say this thing that you just said. Like, hold on. Why is anybody muffling their speech? Why is anybody seeing effed up stuff and being quiet about it? We are watching a civilization get decapitated. We're watching it with our eyes. I want to say this again. Men and women are different. Men and women are different. Men are logical, women are emotional. That's why you can be enticed or influenced to do certain things. You can be influenced to do certain things that have catastrophic outcomes. But because of whatever it is that is influencing you at the moment, because of how it's making you feel, you're willing to stick your head in the lion's mouth because somebody just said it to you the right way, that lion's breath smells amazing and it may give you an orgasm. It didn't seem like a good idea, but the right things can be said to a woman and she will destroy herself. We watch you guys. We watch you guys have these children, and we're like, listen, we know how men feel. We know how quality men feel about women who have children. So when we see you guys have a second kid, listen, first thing that comes to our mind, you know what it is. There are things that women do that men know are the atom bomb of dating value. But you guys won't stop doing it. And we're not talking about all women in America. We're talking about around 70% of the women in America, to where if they were not raised with their father in their life, you're going to catch yourself arguing about some dumb shit. Of course, we don't mean everybody, but the ones we are talking about are the ones who have been X'd out of the game. I'm telling you right now, a lot of these people are X'd out of the game. And when you're X'd out of the game due to bad dating decisions, for those of you who don't know what we mean when we say X'd out of the game, listen, this is how you get X'd out of the dating game. We don't even have to hold a vote or anything. The universe gets you right. The universe gets you right for doing certain things. When you have 3 children by 3 different men, the caliber of men you will be capped at to date, you will know it's not like what it was before you had those children. Those children set off a chain of events in your life where now the universe has to step in and deal with you. And listen, we're nationwide. Women who have multiple children by multiple men living with them, they get the same reaction from men of all other states and cities. It's not like you leave Chicago and like, ooh, I left there because the men, they act funny towards women who have kids. No, it's every state, every city. It's something we would prefer not to. We see you guys doing certain things and we like, she don't know how this is going to end. We see you guys doing certain things and we have already saw how the outcomes of these things. Listen, gain some weight. Gain some weight.
My doctor has notified me that I'm morbidly obese.
And when men see you, we tell you these things on these podcasts. We watch you guys decline. We watch you guys slide down that razor blade. And we are in awe and utter amazement. We're like, she didn't know that her life was going to turn out. Like, we can tell you where your life is going to be before it gets there. We can tell you, the fellas, listen, for the fellas, this may sound bad, but men are realists. And we talk amongst each other. We'll say something like, yeah, so-and-so probably don't have long to live if he keep on going at this rate. Because we know this thing that you do. We have observed what typically happens to people who do that thing that you're doing. Listen, you ladies, with this feminism movement, it's over for you. It is over for you.
Dead man! Dead man walking!
What we're seeing from the women who latched on to the feminism movement, we're seeing that it's taking them for around 40 and 45 to start going online saying, I was wrong, and I just want all of the men to accept my apology for getting so far outside of the natural order and contributing the part of chaos to society that I did. It's like taking you guys to like 40 and 45 years old to understand that you've been drinking bleach. You will pay for it in the later years of your life is when you will pay for it. I want to show you guys something.
In my eyes will never be true leaders, not even real protectors. It's always going to be women. Who's the one that always steps in whenever somebody's in danger? A child's in danger, a woman's in danger. Even at points, a man could be in danger. It's a woman. Who do you see just standing there not doing anything, looking around for anyone else to do something? A man. There's barely any times I've ever seen a man step in, and sometimes I'll see men only step in when a woman steps in to attack another man. It is weird, but they're the protectors, or talk about they're the leaders too. What do you lead on? Every single type of neutral type of person I've ever met, most of the time is men, actually. They don't take a stance on anything. They never want to rock the boat. They never know. I don't know.
Okay, so she said every single type of neutral man that she's ever met a single neutral person that she's ever met has been men. Like, I don't know, not really, decision makers, right? Things like that. Well, the question is, why are these the caliber of men that are coming around you? Loser type individuals who can't make decisions. Right? You see what I'm saying? I want to go to another place.
Will never be true leaders, not even real protectors. It's always going to be women. Who's the one that always steps in whenever somebody's in danger? A child's in danger, a woman's in danger. Even at points, a man.
Men aren't protectors. Women are the ones who are protecting society. Listen, let me help you understand something. The reason that men won't come take your goodies in society just in broad daylight is because they fear other men. Good men. Men have civilized society to where there's not a lot that you have to fear about outside of us being inside of an imperfect world. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it would be hard for men to like women. Now, there is that elite group, because all of the women I've dated on a serious level, they've been immaculate. These are amazing women. These aren't these type of women. So there is a group of women who exist that just amazing to be around. But I'm going to say this. The women who go bad, the women who weren't raised with their fathers in their life, listen, all I'm going to say.
Dead man! Dead man walking!
This is why I do not advise you guys be latching on to men or women who have not had their fathers in their lives. Even the men, if they haven't had their fathers in their life, do not mess with them if they are not exceptional human beings. You can see that this is just a good person who is already on the path of creating a stable life for himself. Anything outside of that, do not ignore red flags when it comes to men. If you see the red flags and you've already come to the information that he was not raised without a father, he's going to have some breakage attached to him. But now women, on the other hand, their breakage is significantly different. When women make terrible decisions, society pays for it. When women make, and then we're talking about generational damage. We're talking about generational damage. Let me get to some of these. Lawless definitely in the building. My brother said women blow money unnecessarily. If real men was in the homes, it would be way less unnecessary money spent. This was absolutely designed, the separation. Lawless over here setting it off for us one more time. Running game is for women, making her feel away. Yeah. If I understood that correctly. Listen, what I'm telling you guys is, I'm going to say it right now, right? A lot of the women we're talking about are women who have been X'd out of the game. And I don't know if I was telling you guys, I don't know if I explained to you guys what X'd out of the game means. X'd out of the game is a real life phenomenon where the universe deals with you. The laws and ordinances that God has set, the boundary lines, they get back with you when you step across those lines too far, right? And we've seen it. We've seen not just women, men. Men have called the wrong men to BITCH and their funeral is next week. There are boundary lines that are not supposed to be crossed because when you cross them, you summon the energy of repercussions, right? We have watched women do the things repetitiously that X a woman out of the game. If you ask me what I mean when I say X out of the game, it's when the universe the dating highway no longer accepts your resume as it pertains to dating. You pretty much, listen, this is going to sound harsh. Let's go. Turbulence, people. A lot of you don't know why dating is so difficult for you right now. Dating has been difficult for you for some years. I'm going to help you out today. If dating has been very difficult for you for some years, it's likely because you've been X'd out of the game. You probably had 2 or more children with 2 or more different men, or You were born average or below average looking, and on top of that, you placed kids and you gained weight. There are things that you guys can do to X yourself out of the game to where, or also exceedingly high body count. You guys don't know that an exceedingly high body count changes who you are as a person. It even alters your personality. You guys just don't see it happening, but everybody else around you who's observing, we see the change taking place in your life. Some of you had daughters who were raised like princess teacup babies, right? And you looked at her like that little angel. Some of you had nieces and things like that. You saw her turning for the worse. When she turned around 14, you saw which route she was going, right? The same with you guys. The same with you guys. Women can make mistakes that you can't recover from. And nobody's talking about that. Women can make mistakes that will cause them to be single chronically for 15 and 20 years. It's not that men suck. It's not that your things aren't going right in your life right now. It is the repercussions of those things that you were doing when you had a high level of dating access and dating value. You guys getting trains ran on you. You getting drunk on a regular. The repercussions of getting drunk could be that 10, 15 years from now, your skin starts to looking old. You're looking older. And as a result of you looking older, now you can't get the caliber of men that you think you deserve because inside of your head, you still think that you're that deal from 15 years ago. And you're not. You look different. Okay, the repercussions of the trains that you allowed to get ran on you. The repercussions of those trains is you're not supposed to be taking cock like that. It affects a woman. If you disagree with me, look at all of the best sex that you have ever had in your life. Think about it. People on TikTok, I need you to drop 100, drop fruits down in there and give me thumbs up. I just said something that could have got the channel compromised. Look at the best sex you have ever had in your life. And I'm talking about that boy was deep down in there. He was hitting that button to where you're like, want no more fit daddy, right? I'm talking about you got his pelvic area and you're trying to push it. You're trying to keep him from getting more of it in, right? I'm talking about when you got that little whimper going on and that little lonely tear traveling down the side of your face. I'm talking about this boy blew that thing out. You still know who he is. You know his name. You remember how he feel. I don't care if it was 25 years ago. You remember that. There was sweat involved in that. There was pheromones involved in that. There was passion involved in that. There was bodily fluid mixture involved in that. There was a meshing together of you two, sharing each other's emotions, right? Now, turbulence, people. For those of you women who have experienced that 15 and 30 times, you think you're okay? You think you're really okay? You're not okay. And some of the things that you can't see in yourself is why you've been chronically single. You're having that high level of an emotional hurricane taking place inside of your emotions for years. You think that didn't affect you? Listen, it went all the way to the point to where it's even harder for you to get off now. Not because this man sucks in bed. It's harder for you to get off now because of all that you've experienced. You've been taken down through there. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. You're not the same. Your innocence has been snatched. You've learned how to be nasty, which is okay. But it's not okay when you learn how to be nasty and then start taking that to all of your other sexual relationships. Because now you're just nasty. Shout out to the International Quiet Storm, definitely in the building. My day one over here rocking out with us. Hey, Quiet Storm. Hey, you see that climb, don't you? Listen, how old is this? Let me see how old this is. Check this out. I want to show you guys that again. I want you to read what number of subscribers that we achieved. I put this up 4 days ago. If I do say so myself, we put that up like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, crossing the 30K subscriber mark. Today it's already at 41,000, right? I'm just saying. Told y'all we was coming. Told you we was coming. Told you we was coming, right? But listen, we sit back and we watch you guys make decisions that are so catastrophic. For those of you who grew up in environments where everybody kinds of know each other, the neighborhoods, blah, blah, blah. In a similar mindset as that, we can see where you ladies, listen, some of you guys have been up here and you've heard me down there in the comments. When you see nasty women just saying terrible things, we know how those women get down. We know whatever state she lives in. We know she's getting tossed around because we know how men treat unsavory women. We know this. Listen, a lot of women have been X'd out of the game because you had too many children. A lot of women don't realize that all of that sex that you had, it changed you. It most definitely changed you. You're not as shy as you used to be, sweetie. And being shy was a part of one of the elements that made people respect you so much. But that's gone, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just giving an example. Listen, you've had so much sex, and I'm talking about you've had so much good sex. To now, whenever you get into a relationship with a man who is a good man, you'll probably cheat on him because his average, which isn't a bad thing, his average sex is not good enough for you for a lifetime because you've experienced too many other heightened levels of excitement in the bedroom. You're ruined for that caliber of man. You're ruined for that caliber of man. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not all women. Again, I testify to that because the women, well, until they end up blocking me permanently, right? Amazing women, right? So they're out there. But I believe 70% of the women in America is due to the culture they've consumed. They've been programmed and told to be everything that decent people don't like. They look at the music. Spend that. The whole song is fiscally irresponsible. Black people are the poorest people around here. You talking about spend that, spend that, spend that. Black people need to be saving that. Black people don't even need luxury cars unless you actually have $250,000 cash in the bank. And even then, you shouldn't go over $20,000 on a car purchase. We are behind the 8 ball, people. Behind the 8 ball. Listen, a lot of women don't understand that the reason that dating is so tough for them is not because men ain't shit. You forfeited your rights to the universe. Listen, I'm telling you guys, listen to me when I say this. And if you find any flaws in my ideology, step up and bring it to my attention. But what I am telling you is that's one thing that I love about patterns. Patterns tell a story. Patterns can tell us what's going to happen. If we watch 10 cars run out of gas, if we can tell you likely what's going to happen to you if you let that little needle get down too far on that letter E. They can get us in the right direction. Patterns. They do. And what we have seen is when women make certain degree of bad decisions, they usually don't recover from it. Usually they don't recover. This is just your first time hearing this said out loud. You've been knowing this. You've been experiencing it. You've been living it for years, or your girlfriends have. But this is just your first time hearing somebody say it out loud. You can be X'd out of the game. And it has nothing to do with men. Now you're dealing with the universe. You're dealing with the laws and the ordinances of God Almighty. lines that you crossed that you should not have crossed. I think because of the society that we live in today, we've always been told if a woman hits you, don't hit her back. They've been coddled so badly. So I believe the mindset of today's modern woman is that of I'm immune to repercussions. No, listen, see, the repercussions that you are talking about have been set and forth by men, but I don't know a man who can circumvent the repercussions of God Almighty. You can go to Congress all you want to. Nobody can do anything about the repercussions that come with crossing the ordinances and guidelines that God has set before us. Nobody can get around it. We can even get so accurate to where we can depict typically how your life is turning out, how your life is headed, and potentially how it's going to turn out based on what you typically do throughout your day, based on what your vices are. We can kind of gauge and tell you how this is going to turn out if things don't drastically change. And listen, I think women don't know that there's a multitude of afflictions associated with men not desiring women who have children. And I know amazing women who have children already. I'd put myself in harm's way for these women. So that doesn't mean that women who have children aren't good people. But what I'm telling you is you guys don't know that we look at you differently. Once you have children, we look at you different from a multitude of angles. We look at you from, if you got kids by him, chances are every actual thing that I would love to do to you to make you mine, he's probably already done those things to you. Right. If we even look at it from, well, there's proof that he's came in her. Right. See, you guys don't understand how territorial men are. You don't understand how territorial men are. And the things that you do with men actually are men marking their mark on you. They're putting their signature on you. They're signing the contract. And you're agreeing to it by letting your version of signing the contract is letting him go raw in you. A man stamps you when he releases inside of you. And you guys have had a multitude of men to stamp you. A multitude. That's why, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate to say this. Turbulence, people. I've heard women say things like, yeah, men don't respect women like they used to and this and that. They don't even treat. You're right. You're right. We don't. Or we wouldn't treat you like we treat you. Those of you who get bad treatment, because it is my belief that quality women can garner the attention of a caliber of man who would treat a woman good. But the over 70% of women in America don't qualify for an amazing man. Because we judge you based on what we visually see from you. You guys don't do that. You guys use makeup to get rid of blemishes and things like that. Where you're balding at, you go get wigs and what are they called? Lace fronts. You guys are used to lying to yourselves, but we don't know how to do that because since men have been toddlers, we have always been forced to confront the truths, harsh realities, falling off of a bicycle and skinning your knee. You guys have learned how to lie to yourselves, but it hurts you because over the course of some years of lying to yourself, you will no longer have the ability to see what other people can see. What we see that you women are doing, we can't believe that you're doing it. We can't believe it. What we think is, how come they're not thinking about when they're going to turn 45 and 50? See, men think for the future because we are called upon by God Almighty to be providers and protectors, right? So he give us gifts to be able to do those things. Within our toolbox, it is vision, the ability to see, the ability to connect certain dots until it gives us a glimpse of the future, of what lies 2 weeks ahead from us, right? We can do that. So when we see you ladies making certain moves, we just can't believe it because it isn't something that just happened. This is something that's been going on for 35, 40 years. You guys are doing things that are bringing your value down. And when the universe gets with you about it, instead of saying that, no, I did, my whole phase was too long, or instead of saying I did get herpes, or instead of saying I did put on too much weight, or instead of saying I do have multiple children by multiple men, or instead of saying I was born average or below average looking, Instead of saying any of those things, you just say, men ain't shit. That can't be the answer to everything. Men ain't shit can't be the answer to everything because you will never grow. You will never get better if you keep lying to yourself. You will never get better. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of these people that we're having trouble with in society, these are women who have been X'd out of the game. And when you're out of the game, due to bad dating decisions, the universe doesn't allow you to get much more than a I ain't shit type man, or you're going years without being in a real long-term relationship. I'm telling you guys right now, if you think my philosophies are wrong, look around in your circles, look around at your girlfriends, look around at your sisters, look around at your daughters, look around at your aunties, and tell me a significant portion of them have not been X'd out of the game, or at the bare minimum, exhibiting X'd out of the game symptoms. Years without being in a long-term relationship, right? Years? How the hell do you even pull that off? You mean to tell me nobody finds you attractive? Nobody thinks you're valuable? They say we typically cross paths with, I think, roughly 50,000 people a year. Now, if you break that in half, let's just say 25,000 for the women. Out of 25,000 women, let's just go for 4 years. That means out of 100,000 people in 4 years, out of 100,000 people, there was not one man who seen enough value in you to want to get to know you long term. Do you think that's even possible? Or is it more likely that there's things about you that caution men about approaching you when they are in the market for a long-term relationship? I often tell people that women who have been X'd out of the game is no different than having a big sign, a billboard on their foreheads when they go out in public. And when men look at that sign, the sign says, not suitable for long-term relationships. Women who have had multiple children by multiple men and things like that, women who are significantly overweight, women who have that ratchet ghetto attitude and things like that, these are women who have made their life so uncomfortable to where what you see is ghetto, angry, ratchet behavior. It's in the white community too. We have broken women in the white community. You have broken women in the Latino community. It's just different percentage ratings. Different percentage ratings, which mean the world, to be honest. We could deal with a little bit of BS on a small scale, but when it's on a large scale, that's an issue, and it causes you to get stigmatized throughout the world. African American women have been ranked the most undesirable group of women to date on the entire planet. That means a whole lot of people, but I will go so far as to say this, it's not the majority of African American women that are like that. There is a small percentage, I'll say about 40% of women in the African American community are wreaking havoc and raising hell. They're doing so much damage. It's typically the ones who are in the heavier saturations of poverty areas. I'm talking about the Chief Keef areas, the King Von environments. These are women who are replicas of King Von. And these are the women you see running out of the Dollar General. A lot of you ladies have Black African-American women as girlfriends who you work with. And you know good and well you would never see her running out of Dollar General stealing, right? These are the broken humans in the African-American community who are performing this high-level debauchery. They're broken, or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. But unfortunately, turbulence, people. For those of you who are new to the show, whenever you hear that, I'm probably about to rock the boat. Unfortunately, there are elements inside of the broken girl culture that are enticing and attractive to even women like Jasmine Crockett, who went to private schools. So the culture that is associated with these broken women, it's getting hard for us to even tell the difference between our classy women and our hoes and bust down. Because our classy women have taken on the notion of wearing the lace fronts, of wearing the long fingernails. You guys don't know, the more you do something, the more of it you become. You're not the same that you were before you started embracing all of this sexy red music and doing what your cousins from the worst end of town do, trying to wear the long nails, trying to wear accentuating clothes. You changed and you don't know it. Other people see it. You changed. But you just got to hope that whatever change you did is a change that usually garners positive responses. But usually that's not the case. Usually you guys bring horrific repercussions up on yourselves due to the latest trends and things like that you like to follow. Agree to disagree podcast in this situation, rocking out with us. Listen, what I'm telling you guys is this. A lot of you have been X'd out of the game. The universe simply will not allow you to get a higher quality man than an ain't shit man. You've been X'd out of the game. A lot of women don't know when they've been X'd out of the game. You've been X'd out of the game if you have not been in a long-term meaningful relationship in the last, especially, listen, I'll say 5 years. But if you haven't been in a long-term relationship that was 2 or 3 years in the last 10 years, you're definitely X'd out of the game. That means you used to be a 403. That means when you got out there, you got out there. That means you were going to all of the clubs. You were doing all of those things. You were sleeping with multitudes of different men. That means you likely have multiple children by multiple different men. You got X'd out of the game. And when you get X'd out of the game by the universe makes it exponentially more difficult for you to successfully date. You got to know that what I'm saying is the truth. There's no way it's supposed to be as difficult as what a lot of you see in your social circles and in your family. Women who, you guys got aunties who are 60 years old who are single. She got X'd out of the game, man. Now, you can make an appeal and increase your dating value in the universe. But it's a series of things that you would have to do that most of you aren't willing to do. So that's why I don't often bring it up. If you get your weight intact, if you start renouncing ratchet ghetto ways and catching yourself when you exhibit some of these behaviors, if you move to an environment and intentionally start you a new set of friends, the caliber of friends that you guys usually refer to as lame chicks, their life isn't exciting as yours. That's exactly what you need right now. It's time for you to overlearn something new because your programming has created catastrophic results in your life. Look at your life. You can't get locked down by even a lower value man. So you can do things to enhance your value. You can go celibate. You can move to a different place. You can start dressing in more feminine colors. You can stop adorning yourself like an actual object opposed to a marriageable object. And you will start getting different results. But the overwhelming majority of you can't do that, so we don't talk about it long. The overwhelming majority of you can't pull that off. So you will be reserved to ain't shit niggas, or you only have two options. When you get X'd out of the game, you get reserved to ain't shit niggas, or you go years without being in a relationship. And that's what a lot of these people are battling with right now. That's what a lot of these people are battling right now. All of the powers that come with women's arrival, the sexuality, the feminine traits, those energies are so powerful to where if you're irresponsible with them, the repercussions that will be held will be so severe, it will resemble a different type of death. You will encounter repercussions where you, in your later years, go years without being able to secure a mate, or where you're stuck with multiple children by multiple different men. It will get ugly for you fast, and you will adapt to that lifestyle. And as an effect of it, you will become a bad person or a more negative person. You'll end up doing some of the things that cause all men, listen, you'll end up doing some of the things that cause men in all societies to view you as recreational use only. Women can make mistakes that you kind of cannot rebound from. Women make bad decisions and whole families get destroyed. For those of you who aren't familiar with the topic of today's show, research shows that men really don't like women. We love women, so we will still uphold our end of the bargain of protecting them even when they're strangers, even when we don't know them and things like that. But just based on how you move, if you didn't have something that we wanted, we wouldn't like you as a human being. Always asking for something. It's always something to benefit you. And you guys have gotten so blatant with it that you can't even tell that that's what you're doing. And this is what I'm telling you. When you guys go so far as to turn into those caliber of people, it gets bad for you. Women make bad decisions and things get bad. When a woman makes a bad decision, an entire 5-person family gets destroyed. Women make bad decisions and you won't know who your father is. You'll grow up in this world without a father. The things that women do wrong don't carry a small amount of weight, because when the repercussions manifest, when women make bad decisions, they affect generations of people. People finding out that the person who they love with all of their heart and even has them in their will is really not even their cousin. And with that, I'm going to be honest. Turbulence, people. For these reasons, women without vajayjays or any form of sexuality, we wouldn't like you. And I'm talking about the ones who move in that energy. There's around 30% of women in America who are still amazing women. And the number increases when you go to different communities. But as you're traveling throughout the African American community, the number grows of women who are unsuitable for anything serious. If you have the intentions of building anything that's meaningful or important, it'll be tough. In the African American community, I believe that there's about 30% of women who are still amazing, 35% of women. I'll say there's about 35%. But the rest, you're unbearable to us. Just your traits. You exhibit too many of Eve's traits. And for this reason, women without vajayjays or any aspect of sexuality that men could benefit from, we wouldn't deal with you. There's too many things about you that irritate men for us to be able to be cool with you if you didn't have your sexuality and the other things that we want from you. You guys are very, very, very difficult to maintain. I'm not saying all women. I'm saying the ones we're talking about. The ones who are a small number, but yet so potent in society to where their activities overshadow that of the good women. They're not suitable for anything, really. We wouldn't deal with you. We would listen, this show is about to get ugly. And I don't mean for the show to get ugly, people, but hell, you guys know what we do. That's why you come here. Turbulence, people. Listen, I'm going to help you guys identify yourselves. And I'm not saying any of these things to be mean, but I'm telling you, the way humans are socially engineered, just our biology to be paired up, there's something wrong with a woman who's not in a meaningful relationship for years at a time. It's not normal. There's something wrong with her. Especially if she's 40, anything. We are designed to adore each other. A lot of you have strayed too far off of that path. And I'm going to say this. Those of you who you go years without being in a serious relationship. Those of you who, when men have sex with you, The moment that they release, you hear this. That man reaching for his pants, signaling his exit. He doesn't roll over and put his arm around your neck or kiss you on the side of the cheek. He doesn't finish and say, hey, get up, let's get dressed, babe, let's go out there. No, he's actually disgusted. Now that he has had his release, he's disgusted that he took himself to a place where he could deal with you. I'm not trying to be harsh or mean. I'm telling you guys why a lot of you get ghosted. I'm telling you guys why a lot of you only hear from a man when he wants something extra. It's because your value is low in areas. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying it to bring it to your awareness. And once it's brought to your awareness, you could start self-reflecting and asking yourself, what would be the things about you that maybe you don't see that would cause a man to want to treat you like that? Does your breath stink? Does your poo nanny stink? Do you have 3 children by 3 different men? Do you weigh 230 or 40 pounds? Do you have ghetto traits about yourself? These are all an amazing place to start. If you are not what men treat good, men won't treat you good. Right? If you are not and you do not resemble something that men since the beginning of time have always treated good, you're likely not going to get treated good by men. We know the women who men have always treated good. These were soft, feminine women who we could look at as a proprietary component. That's mine right there. That belonged to me. It makes it easier for you to be willing to give your life for somebody who you look at them and you see your sense of duty, your sense of responsibility. You see that's yours. Makes it a little bit easier to give your life. But when you have a woman who has been with 25 other men, jeez, man. You think, is it worth giving your life up for? This chick is probably going to move right on, right after I take this bullet for her. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, people, where are my show supporters? Let's get it going, people, before we show the rest of these videos. Let's get it going. Listen, that's why you guys hear us up here night and day on these podcasts. I really want you guys to get this right now. I really want you guys to get this. Do you see how fervently and how strong men are on these podcasts telling you guys about your behavior? It's because we know what's coming behind your behavior. We know the degree of repercussions that accompany the things that we see you often doing. We know who hoes are because we know how hoes move. And we know how the ending usually turns out if you don't change. That's why we're on these podcasts like this. We see what you're doing to your lives, and what happens to your lives affects us as a community and as a society at whole. These are patterns that are going on, and we can all see them. Now, I'm going to stress this. I have to stress it because the women who have been in my life have been phenomenal women. But just based on how you guys get down in society, I would say that most men don't like you. That doesn't mean they hate you. Most men wouldn't like you. Women are typically selfish, and they like things to be done for them often. And after a certain amount of time, it comes off as using. It comes off like that. Because another thing, well, geez, I'd reckon some go with this, but it's not my case. My women have always. So it's not my case, but in a lot of cases, I'm also sure that you guys aren't reciprocating. The reason we know that you're not reciprocating is because you're all over some social media talking about what you want, you want, you want, you want, you want. There are no pages or any podcasts we can go to for the most part, where women are talking about how to better please a man and good gifts to give a man and things like that. Would you like being around somebody like that? Would you like being around someone who you just almost know that anytime you're around them, it comes at a price? She's going to want something, or she's coming around you today because she knows about something she's going to ask you for Monday. I don't think logical men like today's modern woman. I don't think that they do. Listen, let me ask the men. Listen, we are live on 4 platforms right now. And this doesn't mean that we hate women. We love women. This is why we're up here giving you guys this information so that you can enhance the areas of your life where you're performing enough to cause men to look at you like that. I don't think that men are genuinely just running around not liking women for no reason at all. That's not in man's nature. But fellas, on all of the platforms, we are on 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms live. On a scale of 1 to 10, if it was not for sex and those aspects that we need for a woman, how valuable would women be in men's eyes? 10 meaning very, very valuable. If you take away the sexual component and just you're stuck with the traits of women, how valuable do you think women are today on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 meaning they're very valuable. I'd like to read this off. I'm going to say that again. On a scale of 1 to 10, if men didn't need sex from women outside of their sexual value, how valuable are women today on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, snap. I don't even know if I want to read these off. There's times where I hope I'm wrong, but geez, these people are worse than I am. Jeez, over here too. Oh my gosh. Hey, y'all tripping, man. That ain't not that horrible, man. Jeez. 2, 3, -10, 0, 1, 1, 2. On Instagram, 2, 1. Jeez. On TikTok, -10, -5. These people down here are tripping. But listen, I'm going to tell you guys why men feel like that. Because who wants to be around someone who always wants something? How come you can't just be cool? How come you can't? Who is it? This is DoorDash. I just got a order to send you a meal by Miss Takisha. And it has a note that says, was just thinking about you. You're not going to experience a lot of that. Now, listen, I will be honest. That is the nature of my relationships with women. Let me see. Yes, women will, yes, I don't have those issues. But I still know that if I allowed that type of stuff to come into my life, women would try to bring it in my life. I simply don't allow it. You know how I nip it in the bud? I nip it in the bud because I won't date a woman who has characteristics that are unbecoming of a lady. I won't do it. Listen, the women I date are the caliber to where maybe if you called her a bitch, she might cry. The women who I date to where you don't have to worry about her not cheating because she's scared she'll get busted. She thinks, ew, another man that I'm not in a relationship with on top of me. Now, there was one of them who I knew she would get down on me, but we weren't in a real relationship, right? We was in a cool situation, right? But that's how you nip that in the bud. You get the right person on the bus the first time, right? You get the right person on the bus the first time. There are some women who are on that level of just a dope ass human being. But way more women have latched on to this American-made culture thing and surrendered all of their dignity and all of their pride to it. They have to have the last word. They have to be strong, independent woman, which instantly turns them into man repellent. Right? So if I'm being honest, might as well get to the show. You guys don't believe what I'm saying, so maybe you'll believe it if you hear from somebody else.
My daughter has a theory that most men do not, in fact, like women. And I have come to believe that she is in fact correct. That the majority of men on this planet do not in fact like, respect, or love women. Now, there's no point in asking an unconscious man this question because he will adamantly assure you that he does. But what I think most men are afraid to look at within themselves is that they do not, deep down, in fact, like, love, or respect women.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Most men are afraid to look down and dig deep down in themselves. And if I don't have to dig deep down in myself, listen. In case, hold on, let me put this up. In case you don't understand me, we don't like women. I didn't have to do a lot of reaching. The caliber of individuals that you turned into. Women don't like women. We know that I'm right. Many of you have girlfriends who are like, I don't mess with BITCHs. I got mostly male friends. The women say it. Shout out to AB over here dropping bombs with us with the super chat, rocking out. I appreciate the love, my brother. Shout out to Mecca Dawn over here rocking out with us. The majority of my sisters think they are above the men that they qualify for. And shout out to you, sir, for the 41K, my girl. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem. It's not men. It is our DNA. It is our programming. Men don't know what it's like to experience an existence without feeling the obligation of being willing to give your life for women. We don't know what that existence like. We're taught it. Well, we're taught it since I can't remember. It's what we are told by the people who love us the most. So it's not us. It's not us saying, man, let's look for some reasons to not like women. No. That's not it. See, because you have to acknowledge that women are saying the exact same thing about women. Women have podcasts. Women are condemning women's behavior. It's just up to you to ascertain whether or not you are one of those women that women and men are talking about. But you won't be able to do that inside of delusion. That's the problem with delusion. Most delusional people don't know that they're inside of it. Right? But let's get back to the show.
They like what women do for them. They like how women make them feel. And there is a big difference between loving someone and liking what they do for you. And this hatred.
In the defense of men, I think it's fair for all of us to acknowledge that women supersede men when it comes to liking the opposite sex for what they can do for you, right? I think it's safe to say that women dominate us at probably about 3-time rate. So let's not talk like men are villains for seeking out what they can get from women. Because you've been doing it. Let's go.
Of women is why men commit so much violence physically.
I find it very ironic that women always bring up men commit violence, but you have no problem with our violent levels when it's to defend this country or to defend you or to come drag that loser of a boyfriend, a sperm donor out of your house after he's had his foot in your ass. I find that very ironic. You love our ability to perform violence when it's beneficial to your life, but you weaponize it when it's convenient for you. Do you or don't you like our potential to be violent? Nothing's going to be perfect. So yes, because we live in an imperfect world, the violent nature of a man will spill out into society occasionally. But that violence is necessary, or all other countries would not have adopted the same abilities. Right?
Emotionally, spiritually, so much violence, physically, emotionally, spiritually, against women, and why they commit so much violence against the earth.
Men commit violence against women because we live in an imperfect world. Women commit violence against men because we live in an imperfect world. Women divorce men without the men knowing that this was the plan the whole time, without men knowing it, because this is an imperfect world. Stop portraying yourselves to be angels. The diabolical nature of a woman, you usually don't even know that you're getting got until you get got. How about that? Stop painting women to be innocent because you are the manipulators of the planet. Now, we all know that, right? Women have manipulated and used their sexuality to get in positions that they're not even qualified for. Not all women, but we know that that is a common practice, especially in America. Women who used to be secretaries are now upper-level management. Right? Now, my point is this. The same things that we do, you do too. Yours are just less impactful because when men do something, there's a significant degree of impact associated with it. If you could press the button, we would have been at war by now just because you had a bad day. You guys destroy families based on how you're feeling right now. So yes, this is an imperfect world and it affects men and women.
This is why they extract so freely from women without giving anything in return, and why they extract so freely from the earth. And when it comes down to it, so much violence, physically, emotionally, spiritually, against women, and why they commit so much violence against the earth. This is why they extract so freely from women without giving anything in return.
Listen, and I'm going to say this too. That's another reason why men typically, generally from a logical level, don't like women, right? And I can't speak for all men, but I know there's a significant portion of men who feel the same way. Nothing is ever enough for you. Nothing. She said why men extract from women without ever giving a return. And I guarantee you, if we walked into this woman's house, if we walked into this woman's garage, I guarantee you we would see that this woman has customized her lifestyle off of the luxuries that men have provided. Give nothing in return? Men are the reason you can go grab you a firearm permit right now and defend yourself. Giving nothing in return? Men have it in their DNA to be willing to give their damn life. What are you talking about? Giving nothing in return? You have the right to say something like what you just said, which in other countries would carry higher penalties for saying something like that. But because of men, you have the right to say something like that without being accosted. Because of men, you have the right to go to work and school. Because of men, not only do you have equal rights, you have more rights than men. And this is why it becomes exceedingly difficult for us to respect women, because when you say things like this, there are so many evidences that we can pull up to prove what you're saying wrong. When you guys talk and say certain things, you don't say something that, okay, she got over on me with that one. You say a lot of things that can be debunked right then and there. You guys saw how easy it was to pick apart the woman who came on the show, Snow. She wasn't even conscious that a lot of the things that she was saying could be, or in her ideologies and things, could be fact checked right there. That's why so many of those clips went viral.
And why they extract so freely from the earth.
Okay, we extract so freely from the earth, which I do believe that there needs to be a limit on that. But again, I guarantee you, we can go in her house and see a multitude of areas and evidences where she is benefiting from the things that men have extracted from this effing earth. This is what makes it hard for us to respect you. It's we don't understand you when you talk. Listen to this. Watch this. Imagine me having wooden desks, wooden tables, right? Designer purses made out of the finest leather and things like that. But then getting on live and complaining about men for taking the lives of animals, even though the lives of animals was required to be taken for you to have that Louis Vuitton, for you to have that Gucci, for you to have that Hermes, right? Damage was required to do to the earth for you to have that gasoline that's powering your vehicle right now. Damage is required to do to the earth in order for you to have the electricity that flows through your car. But you're okay with that point in time of damage, right? This is why we don't understand you. Listen, I think this. I think the things that you guys say, men hear those things and process them like boom, fast, lightning speed. It's almost why when we're up here having these discussions with you, and sometimes men interrupt you, because we saw the errors in your ideology before you got it all out of your mouth good. In my head, I'm thinking, if this woman is complaining about all of the extractions that men are doing to the earth, I guarantee you we can go to her inside of her house and find some ways where she's benefiting from that. And that type of stuff doesn't make sense to men. It doesn't make sense to us when we hear it. We're like, oh, they are different from us. That's how we're forced to look at it. And I'm talking about the severely damaged women who have multiple children by multiple men, have exceedingly high body counts. They're significantly overweight. They're known to kind of be negative, gossiping people. The reason that why I named all of those characteristics is those are the characteristics that are usually found in this caliber of individual. You don't usually find women in society who are the opposite of all of that, who are the ones causing the problems in society. You don't see women who are in shape and at the gym on a regular getting offended when they hear people on podcasts talking about women's fitness. Those aren't the women who are going to get upset about it. It's going to be the hit dogs that you hear hollering.
And what it comes down to is a core wound that has separated them from the feminine and separated them, at least in their...
I agree. You guys did separate us from the feminine because you're no longer feminine. You're masculine. See, I agree with you in the perspective of we have been separated from the feminine, but I disagree in you saying we had something to do with it. You're not women anymore. You're feminists. You're typically good for sex. Listen, all of the things that made men be willing to give their lives for women, go back to doing that if you want the results of women who reap the benefits of it. You guys believe that you can change and it doesn't matter how far you change and you're still supposed to get the benefits of women who didn't change that bad. That's where this separation is occurring. This is an attractive woman, and I'm just saying as far as I could tell she's feminine, but a man would have a tough time with her. She has feminist ideologies.
Sort of consciousness from the divine. And so they use women to try to establish some sort of connection to the divine.
You use men to try to establish a connection to their Chase bank account. So what? You use men to try to establish a connection with some sort of status, some type of social connection. I can't believe she's saying what she's saying when we know that women use men way more than men use women.
But it is not the job of women to heal men.
Well, it is not the job of men to be women's therapists, like you also often say. Men need to be more understanding of women going through the periods and things like this. Men need to learn how to be patient with women. So that's not our job then. When you guys go off on these emotional tirades, then maybe we shouldn't be understanding either.
That's something they need to do themselves. And whether or not they ever do it, I have no idea. It is the job of women to be so healed, so embodied, so intimately aware of our self-worth that we will.
Okay, now here's the problem that we have in that. Herein lies the problem. Turbulence, people. The problem that we have inside of that concept, women need to establish knowing their worth, you won't do it. Because if a lot of you were honest about your worth and what your worth really is, right? Those of you with those exceedingly high body counts, those of you who have multiple children with multiple men, those of you who have those masculine features about yourself, right? Those of you who were born unattractive, if you were to really be honest with yourself, you wouldn't like that truth, which is where all of the excessive amounts of makeup come in, which is where all of the for a hair weave comes from. You guys refuse to be honest what your worth is, because if a lot of you were really honest, you wouldn't even have the audacity to come up on these panels. If we could really see people's body counts on their forehead and things like that, if we could really see how many times people have been to the clinic to have fetuses sucked out of them, a lot of you guys wouldn't be as cocky as you come up here talking. You wouldn't be. So whereas I'm not trying to make it sound like men are just better than women or doing better than women or something like that, I am saying humble yourself. Humble yourself. You guys need to be careful and tread lightly with this concept of women need to know their worth. We've been telling you you need to know your worth. Not only know your worth, but tell the fucking truth about it. Tell the truth about it. Your value is low. You guys refuse to acknowledge that if you get trains ran on you, if you gain significant amounts of weight, if you are over here and you have a track record of men that's exceedingly high, you refuse to acknowledge that you are a low value individual. Yes, you can come out of that, but you guys haven't stopped doing it. You haven't stopped doing it. So yes, by all means, tell the truth. Tell the truth. We would encourage that. I want to hear that foolishness again.
Healed, so embodied, so intimately aware of our self-worth that we will never entertain or subject ourselves to predatory, extractive men.
So let me ask you this. If you guys are as conscious as you lead on to believe, if you are as in tune with Mother Goddess as this woman herself claims to be, why are so many of your experiences and stories about men often coming from a negative viewpoint? Predatory like violence and things like that. If Mother Goddess Earth really exists, she didn't warn you about that man before you let him in your house? See, you guys kill me talking about your education and all of that, but we don't see it playing out in your circumstances in life, and we don't see your children inheriting the most educated. This is what we don't like. We don't like for you guys to claim to have so many of the answers, but we don't see it playing out in your lives. We don't like that stuff because it doesn't make sense. That's why men aren't typically prone to buying self-help books and things like that from people who aren't doing any better than us. But you can get women to do it. You can get women to do it easily. Let me see something. 60 to 70% of women who were surveyed who are currently hold on. Doing is with that information, you're destroying the community and you're promoting whoredom.
I need to have a backup plan. Do not. You need to always have you in the
And
picture.
you're standing on that. You're standing on that on the internet. This is a single mother of two. She's a dating and women's accountability expert. And she has women in her comments who are completely oblivious to the core of what she might be saying in some of her videos, saying, say it, girl. Men don't move like that. Men do not move like that. We have to know that you know what you're talking about in order for you to lead us. You guys are putting yourselves in predicaments. But we don't understand how you're putting yourselves in these predicaments when you're so educated and when you're so equal to men. You're just as smart as men, yet you can't prevent yourselves from having multiple children by multiple men. That's what I'm telling you. That's why we don't understand it. We try to understand it and we try to sympathize with it, but then we'll see another one of you emerge with a podcast or something of that nature, claiming to have all the answers. That woman right there is a single mother of two. And she's giving out dating advice. Yeah, so I agree with what she said initially. I don't think that outside of sexuality, men like women. Like the women and the caliber of women that I associate myself with, I love them. They're actually very good people. The type of friends that you would want to have. But I also aware of the caliber of women who a lot of men would have to deal with. I mean, we might have them in our family. I might have some in my family. Or there's women who I probably slept with who carry that type of energy, right? So I know what people are dealing with out there. I know what people are dealing with. So if I'm being honest, these women are telling the truth. As a person, we wouldn't like most of you. I don't like the majority of women. Because for most women in America, their whole thing is what they can get somebody to do for them. And that's a selfish character trait that is just ugly in the eyes of most people. Women don't understand that anybody who asks people for things often, all the time, would get viewed a certain way by society. And that's how we see you guys, as leeches. It's always about what you're always trying to get something. People who can't be trusted. People whose selfishness runs so deep that you'll get pregnant by an individual that you have no ties to just because you heard he's got lots of money or because he played in the NFL. Do you know how broken a person has to be to raffle their wound off for money? You will let this stranger nut inside of you, dump his genetic makeup inside of your body. The most important aspect of who he is, the most intimate aspect of who he is, you will allow him to dump that inside of your body without the slightest connection to him. It didn't come from a place of, I've been dealing with him for quite some time and I'm intimately connected to him. It didn't come from a place of, I would love to have a baby by him because I respect him for so much. No, it came from, if I let him get me pregnant, probably my life will get easier.
Dead man! Dead man walking!
You don't think that's disgusting? And I'm not saying men don't do some things that are similarly disgusting in that area. But as women, you guys are supposed to hold yourself to a classier standard than men are. Men are called upon at times to remove other men from this planet. Men are called upon to behave in certain ways that women should never behave in. You will let this stranger nut inside of you, hoping he gets you pregnant so that you can carry the child of a complete stranger for 9 months because of financial gain. The person I'm describing, ladies, would you want to be friends with that person? Would you want to be friends with that person? That's what I'm telling you. It's not just men. It's not just men. Give me a second, people. I gotta see we got any cash apps. I'm like to make sure I respect my people who support the show. What's up? Dollar Boonin' Day. Yeah, okay, that was my brother Quiet Storm with the Cash App. For those of you who want to support the show, you can support the show on TikTok. I'm on Super Chat through YouTube or The Real Stacy Prince on Cash App, PayPal, however you prefer to rock with us. We rock back with you. Those of you who are on Instagram, if you want to support the show, the Cash App is pinned to the ground. It is pinned to the ground. But we're gonna delve a little bit deeper off into this thing. We're gonna delve a little bit deeper off into this thing. Let's go.
Men in my eyes will never be cheerleaders, not even real protectors. It's always going to be women. Who's the
I want you guys to understand one of the aspects that makes it so difficult for us to be able to engage with you and rock on out with you just on a cool level without it having to be some type of transaction based. When we hear you guys talk, we instantly hear the areas in your conversation that are flawed and loaded with errors. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you with this video right here.
Men in my eyes will never be cheerleaders, not even real protectors. It's always going to be women. Who's the one that always steps in whenever somebody's in danger? A child's in danger, a woman's in danger. Even at points, a man.
She said, who's the one who always steps in whenever someone's in danger, when a child is in danger or something like that? And see, we often wonder, how come women don't hear stuff like this and say, hey, now, girl, you're going too far. Like, no, these people will be in those comments following that girl like,
Could be in danger. It's a woman. Who do you see just standing there not doing anything, looking around for anyone else to do something? A man.
She says what we typically see in society is women protecting everybody and men just standing around watching. That's what I'm telling you. There's different levels to delusion, people. When you can force yourself, when you become so broken of a human being, you can force yourself to believe the things that you choose to believe.
There's barely any times I've ever seen a man step in, and sometimes I'll see men only step in when a woman steps in to attack another man. It is weird, but they're the protectors, or talking about they're the leaders too. What do you lead on? Every single type of neutral type of person I've ever met, most of the time is men actually. They don't.
That means that you have overwhelming abundance access of neutral men who are not assertive and decision makers.
A stance on anything. They never want to rock the boat. They never know. I don't know. I don't care. Like, that's literally all you are. They don't care about nothing but.
She's telling you the caliber of men she's surrounded by. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, baby. She's telling on herself, and you guys don't realize you do that.
Themselves. They live in their privilege bubble. They think they do so much for society when all you do is keep crumbling even more since the patriarchy's been instilled in place. What do you do that a woman cannot do even better in? And don't even get me started on the fact that how are you guys stronger to be able to protect us when, I'm not gonna lie, the way they downplay childbirth, that's one of the most painful. I think women are the most strongest just off that. Y'all remember when they made on YouTube? Or they have those little videos where it's like period simulators, childbirth cramping simulators? They would put on the woman, put the highest setting. Y'all remember that? It was like nothing because we've been through worse. And then they put on these men. It's only level 1, level 2, maybe max level 3.
And see, here's the thing. This is what always gets you guys jammed up. When you go on these sprees trying to big up yourselves and elevate yourselves more than what we see that's currently taking place in society, then it forces us to say, well, if you're all of this, how come you don't have better sense to be on the internet with a bonnet on? If you're all of this, you guys are doing all of this amazing stuff, how come you guys can't stop getting pregnant by loser men? If you have all of these abilities, see, that's what I'm saying. When you guys up yourselves, you open the door for us to hold you accountable at that standard and see if you meet that standard. But you don't, what we're seeing play out in society doesn't seem to be loaded with amazing abilities. That's not what we're seeing. And even as her, African American women, they've been ranked the most undesirable group of women to date on the planet. Where are these abilities? I don't know.
Already screaming and acting like we're killing you from the inside out. Are you crazy? It's just like, but yet you will downplay even childbirth. I don't care what anybody says. If God was ever a gender, it will always be a woman, and I will not speak any further on it.
This is what we have to deal with. This is what you guys need to know. Listen, when we hear things like this, have you guys ever thought about how that makes us feel? To really have to listen to something like that, and we know it's buffoonery before 5 minutes in. We can hear the foolishness, yet we have to allow people like her to come up here and for us to have discussions with her so that the rest of the women in the audience who still have a chance at happiness, so that they can see the flaws in their current concepts. This stuff is insane to us, people. It really is. To have to even listen to this, it's an offense. When you guys talk a lot of time, it's an offense that we have to listen to it. And I'm not talking about all women, because again, I tell you guys, I have access to nothing but amazing women, right? So they're out there, but I'm telling you, the overwhelming majority of American women have been contaminated by this man-made, manufactured American culture. They've taken on the feminist ideologies that taints their dating value. Yes, we do treat you guys bad sometimes because your value is not that high. The women whose value is good, they're not having these complaints that you guys are having. They're not even having these experiences that you guys are having. Even when a relationship doesn't work out with these women, those men still value them enough to where her and that guy are still cool. She could probably even call him and borrow some money. It's not like that with you guys. The dating damage that you guys do, it makes you actually an unbearable person, even outside the confines of a relationship. ZF.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Prince? How you doing?
Oh, man. Just exhausted, man. You know what I mean. It's exhausted.
Yep. Hey, I have a question, though. See, everybody in the comments is asking, do we love women? Do y'all love your kids? Because if you do, why didn't you make sure they had a good father?
That's where it gets ugly.
I mean, let's just go there. Like, let's be real about it. First of all, with that last video you played, I do not listen to people who don't know the difference between the singular and the plural of a
word. Give me a second, Z.
About a group, well, I'm saying if you're talking about a group of women and you say woman, I automatically tune you the fuck
out. Shout out to my brother EJ over here supporting the show, rocking out with us. You already know what it is, good brother.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Dante over here rocking out with us. You're doing great work. I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate you supporting the show, man.
Look, here.
Hold on, bro. Blue Almighty over here rocking out with us. Let's do the math on how many women throughout history use men to unalive other men. Come on, talk that talk. Let's don't act like we don't know about that. I appreciate you guys for showing love to the show. Hey, those of you who have not given the show a thumbs up, if you hit the thumbs up, the chat box will get nuts and our engagement will go crazy. So hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate everybody. We got 131 people just on YouTube alone. Hit that thumbs up button and share the show. Share the show if you rock with the show. Go ahead, Zia.
And here comes the stupid question. Just this train is never late. Why didn't y'all raise good sons? Why'd you pick the bad ones? See, they really think that everything is a utopia, and if you do this, do that, everything will turn out great. I know guys who had great parents and still chose wrong.
Right.
But guess what? He got more kids than I do. He got a prison record. You know what I'm saying? His parents were the Huxtables, literally. Doctor and a lawyer. Bought him a car at 16, all that. Never had to hustle for $1. Did it anyway. He got caught up. Now he got a prison record. Always wanting to be the street dude. And guess what? He got more kids. He has more kids than I do. Why do y'all pick him?
Listen, my thing is this. I'm not going for it. I'm not listening to any of it. It's always been astonishing to me, man, when, You know, even when a woman has a man in the house, even he might be helping her do stuff. When she gets that degree or whatever, she celebrates. She takes all the credit for that. And, you know, when she's on social media bragging about that degree that she got, it usually the good things that happen in women's life, they don't mind taking the credit for that stuff, right? Because those
Absolutely.
things were all in their control. It was up to them whether or not they skipped class. All of you getting your degree or failing to get your degree, all of that was up to you. It is the same. You ending up being a baby mama for the most part, except for under extraneous circumstances, that is up to you. Person can't even call you a baby mama if you can say, I was married. You're not
The
doing that.
international quiet storm in the building, though. What's good, bro?
Quiet Storm definitely in the building, rocking out with us. Day one.
But here's my rebuttal to that, though, right? If y'all can do it by yourselves and you're so fucking good at it, why aren't y'all raising good sons?
Mecca, come on up. I'm dropping a link down here on YouTube. Click the link and I can bring you up. Let's have a discussion.
But no, I'm saying, why aren't they raising good sons if they're strong, independent, can do everything by themselves? Why aren't they raising good sons?
I don't listen to it.
Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? When they do it by themselves, you know, strong, independent, and that kid turns out great, they take all the fucking credit. So why can't they take the blame when the kid turns out like shit?
It's not in them to do so. It's not in them to acknowledge it. In order to acknowledge something like that, that would be the rest of our problem solved. If they could acknowledge something that tantamount, then hell, they could acknowledge the ghetto behavior, right? That
Right.
no. Listen, their lack of being their lack of ability to hold themselves accountable, it doesn't just stay isolated in one pocket of their life. It trickles over into who they are in their DNA. So which means that they won't likely own up to much of anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not just
Right.
one area.
But I'm saying when they kid turn out great, which is actually the minority of the time, when the kid turns out great and, you know, does all these amazing things, when their son does all these amazing things, they take all the credit. But when shit goes wrong, they shift the blame. And see, you want to talk about leadership, that's not what leaders do. Leaders take blame. Leaders actually take all the blame and spread around the credit. Y'all do it backwards.
Hey, listen, shout out to my brother Dante over here. I think AB said the same thing. But listen, he says hard facts. We love black women. It's why we hate seeing them like this. I agree 1,000%. I said at the beginning of the show, we are literally watching you guys in slow motion destroy your lives. We are watching in real time. You guys drive 100 miles an hour into a brick wall. We talk about it. We know what's happening. If you have one child and we heard that you're pregnant, or we see pictures in your thing again where it's with a second one was with a man that you're not married to, we can almost tell you how this story is going to end. We can tell you how your future dating experiences are going to go. We're watching. This is what I'm saying. We have to watch you guys decimate yourselves.
If we didn't care, this show wouldn't exist.
100%.
What are you talking about? Because if we didn't care, we wouldn't try to help you out and give you advice on how to fix shit.
Priceless information.
And how to rebound from a mistake. But y'all see it as bashing. That's why you ask them weird questions. Honestly, there's so many channels that don't even talk about y'all because they stopped caring.
I agree.
My channel, I quit caring when y'all quit listening. I don't talk about y'all on my channel. I come here to help Stacy accomplish a mission. That is it.
100%. God, dog, what's up with this, man? Hey, man, I'm about to finish the show out. You got anything else for me?
Oh, nah. I'm actually about to pull up and pick up my daughter from this birthday party, and then we're gonna go get some fucking ice cream or something.
My man. Hey, man, enjoy the rest of your night, my brother.
All right. Hey, be safe, stay dangerous. Hey, everybody in the chat, let's get a few more likes up. You know what I mean? There's 45 people in here right now. You know, likes are free. You know, I always say the show goal is 50,000 likes. The more people that are in here, the less everybody individually has to tap. So just tap the screen, share the show, get the engagement up. And we topped out at actually 80 people not too long ago. You know what I mean? So let's just keep it going because everybody's not going to stay. But drop off a few likes for the show. You know what I mean?
Oops, that was an accident. Listen, this is not a woman bashing channel. What I love about this channel is we can all get some understanding amongst each other. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the fresh and fit type of guy. I'm extremely against that stuff. Those are wounded boys. Those are wounded boys who don't do well with women, right? I don't believe in bashing women. I don't believe in just sitting here and we about solutions over here. We're about solutions over here. We're trying to get an understanding and help you get an understanding of us. We're trying to prevent you from doing some of the things that cause greater and greater and greater and greater divide between men and women because it's not beneficial to us. It's beneficial to other people, the higher ups, right? But when you guys latch on to these memes and these generic dating coaches and things like that, it scrambles your programming and turns you against us. You guys are on a witch hunt for more and more freedom. You guys aren't supposed to have more and more freedom. You guys are supposed to latch on to the men and become one, and you guys create a curriculum for you guys to get through life together with. That's how you do that. Men never left our assignment. We may do some dumb things, but men know our purpose. So we don't mind doing things for women that we benefit from. But you guys go overboard with it. It gets to the point where you're simply known for just always wanting something. People start believing just to be in your presence, it costs something, or they're going to need to provide something. That cuts you out of the circle of all of the genuinely good people. Because genuinely good people don't move like that. Genuinely good people offer to pay the whole bill when we all went out to eat or when we all went out for drinks. Genuinely good people, they'll offer to pay a bill for a crowd of 7, right? Genuinely good people are known and have reputations for doing things for other people. You guys, that's not the vibe you guys kick out. You guys aren't going out of your way to promote doing things for other people. I gotta do better than this. I gotta find a way to do better than this. Usually the 2 phones, you know what? How are we gonna do this? Man right here! I like that. I like that. I consider you the heir of the late, great Kevin Samuels. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. If a woman seeks a husband, she should seek guidance from her father, 100%, her brother, uncle, never a woman cosplaying as a dating coach. I like that. She said if a woman seeks a husband, listen, you know, the truth of the matter is that's not what... Here's what the people come to this show for, people. This is why y'all come to this show. Listen, the truth of the matter is turbulence, people. Y'all want to get fucked. That's the truth. Y'all not out there looking for no hug. You want to get fucked. Let's say it for what it is. No one wants to acknowledge that women are out here dropping those draws like they are the men. We have a show that we did a year ago where a girl who I actually got respect for, I have a personal relationship with her, she came on here and admitted it. She said, we've been sitting back for years watching you guys. You know, you guys can smash this girl, that girl. You guys, you know, it seems like we had restrictions that you guys didn't have. We want to do some of that stuff. She said that. But you have different repercussions when trying to do what we can do that you're not built to be able to do. Imagine this. Imagine me going to a pit bull farm where they fight pit bulls and things of that nature, right? And, right before one of the matches, I tell the owner of one of the dogs, nah, listen, take your dog back. I want to square off with one of these dogs right now. And I get on all fours and proceed to attempt to fight that pit bull like pit bulls fight each other. The repercussions that you are going to see out of me getting that far outside of my element is similar to the repercussions that we see today in women switching from the female assignment and coming over with men's assignments. That's what it looks like. We are seeing you guys get decapitated, get destroyed for trying to do the things that men can do. If men try to do the things that women do, it breaks us. Girl, men have no business acting like this, right? Yeah, men have no business moving like that, and it will affect us. If we will do it, if we will play like it, if we will whatever, you'll do it again. And if you'll do it again, you'll find your masculinity. You'll find your manhood compromised. You'll find yourself having gotten okay or just the slightest twinge comfortable doing things that are associated with the feminine trait. That's why we don't do it. We don't do it. We know how to not go too far outside the guidelines that have been set in our man manual. You guys took your woman manual and set it on fire and developed your own set of rules to try to govern your lives by. And it doesn't appear to have been working fine. It doesn't appear to have been working fine. Just got to tell the truth, people. Most women are not good human beings, while men are the exact opposite. You guys are always out for something. And then the things that you like to do that destroy civilization, when we pull you to the side on it, we hate women now. You guys have built bulletproof vests that prevent us from keeping you from destroying yourselves. Our ability to prevent you from destroying yourselves is our authority over you. You need to be able to pull back when we ask you to pull back. Even if it's on social media, if you don't have a dad in your life, you don't have a brother in your life, you don't have a man in your life. If you can hear Stacey Prince, if you ask a question up here and I give you the information that sounds most logical, you need to try to apply that. But if you have the mindset of, who he is, think he Kevin Samuels, you're not going to get better. You're not going to get better. You need to come up under men's governing. Listen, let's go if we're going to go. Turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar with this show, when you hear that, we're about to ruffle some feathers, right? I will go so far as to say this. More than attaching yourself to a man because he has money, more than attaching yourself to a man because he has good sex, more than attaching yourself to a man because he's fine, he's a ladies' man. Listen to me. More than being a gold digger. We got to drop another one. Turbulence, people. You ladies need to be willing to fucking pay a man for his leadership. You need to be willing to pay a man to assist your life with his leadership skills. Being able to check you when you're going too far. That person you can call when you're about to make a decision that could be an important decision, but you're not sure, you're on the fence about it. That person that you can call. That's how valuable a man's leadership is. If I were a woman, I'd literally pay a man to keep me in his life and take me under his covering. Because without a man's vision, you guys often end up sliding down a razor blade track. The things that we see you guys do to your life, we instantly know that these are things that you likely can't recover from. And that's why this is the hottest show online. That's why this is the hottest show online. Because we tell you about things that are happening with you that you don't even know is happening with you. You guys can be X'd out of the game. You can do so much dating damage to yourself to where you no longer qualify for decent men. And the universe will see to it that you don't get decent men. Or the universe will see to it that you go years and years without being in a suitable relationship. There are things that you can do. There are decisions that you can make to where you can't recover from them. And listen, men see these. Hey, if you want to come up, I can't pull on the phones right now. If you want to come up, Come up on the YouTube. Listen, you guys have no clue. This is why women who are married or women who are in long-term relationships are outperforming women who are single. They're not going through the things that you guys are going through. They don't have as heavy of hardships as you guys have. They don't have to carry the brunt of the burden of life expenses alone. You do. Your guys' life sucks compared to those. If you guys were to really compare a good single woman's life to a good married woman's life, it wouldn't be a comparison. It wouldn't be a comparison. Two heads are going to outperform one in most of the cases. Yet you guys have been tricked by marketing to oppose the very thing that keeps you in balance. Listen, you guys, I don't care how much money you make. You will never be able to get around how badly you guys need men. You will never be able to get around it. You can even lie about it until your death. Yeah, I don't need no man. I got $2 million in the bank and da 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 da. You're an unpleasant person. People talk behind your back. People don't really like you, right? You're miserable. You got to have the last word in every conversation. You know everything, right? What the hell is use of having all of the money in the world, man, if people don't value you? If there's nobody who wants to love you enough to be willing to give their life for you, did you really win? I don't think so. I don't think so. You can only lie to yourself for so long, but the longer you guys are outside of the leadership of men, the more damage you guys will do to your lives. We've sit back and we've watched it. Hell, when we're in your lives, you fuck up. Lord Jehovah God, please forgive me. I have gotten out of hand with this cursing. This is not my eyes. Please forgive me, Jehovah. But this is what I'm telling you. When you're in relationships with us, you sneak out and you let another man nut in you. Now we have to figure out who the father of the child is. Can you imagine what you would do when you're single and you're not in the governance of a man? We know because we've ran trains on you. We've ran trains on you. Some of us have pictures. Listen, some of us have things on our phones that, my gosh. Now, this is me speaking from a place of what's best for society, not what Stacey Prince benefits from. You guys are at your worst when you are not under the leadership of a man. Look at your lives. You run your lives so far into the ground to where you can't even get into relationships with men who are biologically hardwired to desire you. That means you had to sure enough make some bad decisions and do some damning dirt to your reputation or to your lifestyle that you probably wouldn't have done had you had a man in your life. Let me see something here. Shout out to my brother Lawless over here supporting the show. Lawless said, it's sad because the black men who care and who would make a difference are the ones who get ignored, overlooked, and looked upon as lame. We are doomed. I agree with that 1,000%. I agree with that 1,000%. We belong to a culture where if a guy pays his bills on time and he's responsible and things like that, he's looked at as a sucker, a lame. Shout out to my girl Ree up in this situation. Ree just became a member. Listen, those of you who are not members of our YouTube, you won't get to see. We have close to 1,000 full-length 2 to 5 to 7 hour interviews that we've done that you won't get to see. You have to be a member on our show, on our platform. Y'all heard what AB said. Hit that Get it together now. Stop playing. Reed been a member for 2 months. My girl. Oh, okay. Somebody tried to come up. Let me drop that link down there again, YouTube. Ladies, I'm going to tell you now, I think the only women who will survive are women who have a man in their life. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me that that's not common. Shout out to my homeboy over here, Mike Tech, definitely in the building, rocking out with us. Good brother. I'm going to tell you now, I think the only women who will survive.
My bad, bro. I'm sitting here listening to the YouTube.
My
The YouTube
man,
stream.
Tell me how you feeling, man.
I'm good, bro. Let me send a shout out to the Quiet Storm real quick in the chat. All right, what's up, my guy? What's going on?
Man, just putting it together, man. Just putting it together. Listen, man, man, this feminism thing was powerful, man. Because it undid some beliefs, man. It undid some beliefs. And once those beliefs came undone, it allowed women the ability to all of the beliefs that came undone and fell to the ground. It made room for them to develop new and different beliefs, right? But those new and different beliefs don't produce the results that our traditional belief system produced. Somebody, who was that? Somebody down here said, my grandfather and my grandmother had 10 kids. My great-grandfather and grandmother had 16. You guys aren't doing that. You guys don't even get married. You guys aren't having families. So my point is this, Mike Check. Do you think... Okay, I'm going to have to divide this. I was about to ask you, do you think that women legit know how beneficial having a life partner is? But then I instantly was hit with the notion that there's a lot of women who don't qualify for a good man. But so I'm going to ask you that in two parts. Do you believe that women are aware of how exponentially better life gets when you have a life partner? Do you think they're aware?
Absolutely not. I think the game is flipped upside down. I think women
That's crazy.
are taught, women are taught how to survive. Now, no, where we point the blame at, we're not going to go there. But women are taught to survive. They're not taught to cohabitate with the man and go through the roughest parts of life with a mate. They're taught to survive. That's why college is such a big thing now. You know, I don't know why it's a big thing, because if a woman is not going to get into a trade and really get down with the infrastructure, you got to go to college.
Yeah.
So for a woman to champion, I got a degree. You're supposed to have a degree, right? If you don't want to work at a gas station for $19 an hour, you're going to have to go to college to get a degree, right? So, but anyway, I think women are just bred to believe that they're in survival mode. And to survive, you got to go to college and get a degree and chase your dreams and don't depend on a man.
Okay, but here's the issue with that. Now, I agree with what you said, but I also concede to the fact that this has been going on for decades. Damn what I'm taught to believe. At what point in time do I suggest to myself that I don't have to see it? I saw what my grandma went through. I saw my auntie went through. I saw my sister went through. I saw my cousin went through. At what point in time do I say, hold on? It looks like that belief usually runs women into a brick wall. It's like they're never learning. They're not doing better. And that's insane to me. It's almost like a curse, bro, or a spell. How do we learn our jobs, mic check, when we are at our jobs? We get instructions and we get the training, but then we look around in our department and we start kind of learning from what we see from our other coworkers. They're not doing that. It's like they're trying to bump their head after they see 10,000 women walk off a cliff. They want to be the next one.
I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha is starting to develop what you just talked about. They're starting to look at the last 30 years of debauchery, and they're like, nah, I don't know about that.
Well, he said that don't end too well.
Yeah, like I got nephews, nieces, and they're Gen Alpha, and they like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. I'm not saying it's a total switch in an ideology, but there is a turning point. No pun intended. It's a turning point. There is a turning point happening within the women's community that they looking like, nah, that ain't it. So that's why I appreciate shows like what you're doing, conversations that you're having, because, bro, this is a 60-year-old conversation.
Yep, it is. It is. Listen, I'm usually light. When I tell people 40 years, I'm light with it. So I just say 40, but it's longer than that, man. We got the video of the black girls from the 1970s. I can take care of them on my own. Are you nuts?
Yes. Yep.
And listen, as a result, ladies, I want to say this to you guys. I want to say this to you, ladies. What we see hurts us to the core. You guys often talk about, well, why, man, if you don't like so much of what you do, why y'all always talking about us? We are watching you destroy an entire community. We're having to watch it. And because you've partnered up with the American government, we can't do anything about it. We are telling you guys, we as men know what happened when boys are created and raised by a single parent mom and don't have the instructions and the tutelage and the operator's manual of a father. He goes through life, especially determine what geographic location he's in. If he's in one of the more poverty-saturated areas, he ends up doing the things that we've seen on TV. So that's why when we see you guys got all of these pictures on your TikTok of we see multiple children and those children don't look nothing alike and we don't see a man in any of the pictures, that pisses us off, man. Are you kidding me? That pisses us off. We are forced to watch what you guys are doing. And we know the outcomes of every step that you're making. So when we see it, we listen, we wish that what you do didn't affect us because we wouldn't even say anything. People have seen me come up here and develop headaches before. But we have to say something because we are watching you guys. See, I got children that I love. And I don't think about my life. I think about how I can impact the world to where when I'm gone, the life that they live will be more cushier for them. But with the things that we see you guys doing, you are helping. You guys are helping contribute to all of the elements that will be the reasons to why my kids don't have a cushier life. And it's effed up that we have to watch this stuff because we know the real repercussions of it. If you guys don't get you a good man and latch on to him, I believe you are among the damned women. You are among the damned women. You guys don't even know how just beneficial it is to have a man that you can say, yo, you're a goofy person. You're one of those girls who goofy. You like to snicker sometimes, things like that. You got one of those Miss Piggy lads, and you know what I mean? And he thinks it's cute as hell. This guy thinks it's cute as hell. So you do that snarkling laugh and thing like he come over here tickling you on your ribs. You guys are missing out on the times in your life where you were supposed to be submersed in your interaction with men, particularly your man. Chilling with a man is cool as hell. Having a protector, having a goofball partner, having somebody who's going to be there with you psychologically when you need to get stuff off of your chest. You guys are cheating yourselves out of the best aspects of your times on earth. But the time that other women are enjoying their man, when she comes in, he's standing behind the door, wrestle her down to the ground and kiss her on her neck and da-da-da. Done bought her favorite Chinese food. Things are sort of already waiting. He's got the foot massage thing already waiting on her. The time that other civilized people are experiencing that, you guys are on social media talking about men ain't shit. You guys are out there getting busted down, getting your booty holes played with, getting trains ran on you, getting pregnated by the lowest caliber of men in the entire species. And by the time you do come to your good senses, you're 45, 50 years old.
Nope.
Nope.
And we keep
No good.
watching this process repeat itself.
Bro, we're going into the 4th decade. It's been 30 since the 90s that we remember, but it's been going on since the 50s because my mom was God rest her dead, had a rebellious spirit. We grew up in a 2-parent household, but that wasn't enough for her. I love my mother to death. Nothing has changed from then until now, as she rests in peace. But she still had that spirit. And she was born in 57. So I'm telling you, this is not a new phenomenon. I'm talking to the chat. I know you know, Stace. This is not something that just came about 10, 20 years ago, bro. This is at least a 60-year-old trend. And something needs to happen.
I think what's insane about it, bro, is listen, here's where you guys would see what we see. Here's where you guys would see what we see. If every time a woman let a man, somebody she met at the club, if every time a woman let a man nut inside of her, listen, an explosion that covered a 2-block city radius. If every time a woman let a stranger nut in her, an explosion the size of 2 city block radius, you guys would understand. Listen, if every time a woman got pregnant, the explosion was a mile-long explosion, you guys would see what we're talking about. When we see you guys make certain moves, we see the explosion. We see how that's going to impact your life. We can tell, listen, there's women who are down there in the comments. You guys often see where, you'll have somebody like Dark Goddess or somebody like that down in the comments just talking all nasty. Listen, this is when you guys hear me say, don't you know that men like myself know everything that's taking place in your life? Just based on how nasty you are down in those comments. The women we see down in those comments, they got to have the last word. They spew the feminist rhetoric. We know that low-level men are playing with your butts, because we know that no quality man would deal with you. This is what I'm telling you guys. We know so much more about you than what you think. We know that men don't treat you good. We know your story by your behavior down there in those chats. And the crazy part is, you're down there spewing vitriol at men who are trying to tell you how to keep from being undesirable in the eyes of men. So it's like, if you won't listen to the correction and the instruction, then you're just doomed. You're just doomed. You got anything else for me, my brother?
No, I just want to congratulate you on your progress, brother. Like,
I appreciate it, man.
I'm not a day one, but I'm definitely a stay one.
Definitely
I remember this guy. I found you at 7K. And I don't know how I found you, but I'm glad I found you. I think somebody reacted to one of your videos, and I found you, and we've been locked in ever since. And I'm 100%. Just proud of you, brother.
And congratulations on your podcast too, man. I swung by to check it out, man. Like, this brother got a real podcast going on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of surprised at the progress, man, because
I got a good, I ain't gonna say teacher, but I got a good, hey, I'm
my brother.
Pick up the pieces. Yeah. Pick up the pieces.
My man. Listen, I'm going to definitely, I still got your number. I'm going to reach out to you because I got something for you, man. Something that helped me out that's been plaguing me for about 4 years. I'm going to drop this on you, brother, and it's going to change everything, brother. It's going to change everything.
That's what's up.
I appreciate you, my guy.
All right, brother.
Listen, We see if there was an explosion that went off every time a woman let a man nut inside of her, if there was an explosion that went off every time a woman had sex without it being in a relationship, you guys would get the impact of what we see when we look around and see how you guys are moving. And you just have to tell the truth about those things. Men acknowledge that our purpose is to get used, right? We acknowledge that. But I'm going to say this. We have not really strayed that far away from our purpose. We still do manly things outside of the feminine, soft males that you guys are raising without fathers. Listen, it may sound harsh, and it may not necessarily be what women are going to want to hear, because it will infringe upon some of women's pleasures and the things that they like to do to have fun. But let's go. Turbulence, people. Women should not have been given equal rights. It was the worst thing even for them. Some women are going to hate what I'm saying right now, but there are some of you women who have been battling with herpes for 15 or 20 years. Had you guys still been under the covering and leadership of men, most of you wouldn't have those herpes. Most of you. Some of you have 3 children by 3 different men right now, and your dating life has been hell. Listen, if you were still under the covering of men, likely wouldn't be the case, right? If men were given 100% of rights, I believe women should have been given 40 or 45, max out at 50% rights, minus the decision-making ability to affect large groups of people. Women should not have been given the full brunt of the rights that they were given. If this creature, who is a woman, is not maintained correctly, it has the full potential to go full on dumb. On the level that makes you question if this person can seriously believe the things that they're saying. Listen, I'm going to give you guys an example. I want you guys to listen to this. I'm going to give you an example. Matter of fact, can I do it like this? Nope, that's not it, and I'm not going to go that route. That's not what I'm looking for either. I want you guys to listen to this conversation.
Men in my eyes will never be true leaders, not even real protectors. It's always going to be women. Who's the one that always steps in whenever somebody's in danger? A child's in danger, a woman's in danger. Even at points, a man could be in danger. It's a woman. Who do you see just standing there not doing anything, looking around for anyone else to do something? A man. There's barely any times I've ever seen a man step in, and sometimes I'll see men only step in when a woman steps in to attack another man. It is weird, but they're the protectors, or talk about they're the leaders too. What do you lead on? Every single type of neutral type of person I've ever met, most of the time is men, actually. They don't take a stance on anything. They never want to rock the boat. They never know. I don't know. I don't care. Like, that's literally all you are. They don't care about nothing but themselves. They live in their privilege bubble. They think they do.
Men don't care about anybody but themselves. I hope there's not one woman that believes that. Men are genetically hardwired, biologically hardwired, the exact opposite. And this is what I'm telling you guys. This is what I'm telling you guys right now. We see it every day. If the creature that is a woman is not handled and maintained correctly, this woman has the ability to go full on dumb. What we see is, it seems like the older a lot of modern women get, they start regressing intellectually or something on a level that makes you question if this person can seriously believe the things that they're saying. Men keep society safe. The ability to create your own realities and even speak them out loud, 100%. The reason that society is safer is because of men. 100%. The reason that men aren't running up on women at higher rate and assaulting them is the fear of other men. Good men, might I add. The overwhelming majority of the things that men are programmed to do are usually for someone else. It's what we have been called up on. We know that our duty is to get used, and not only that, acknowledge it and be okay with it. That's what our duty is. Men's programming, our biology, the overwhelming majority of the things that men are called upon to do is usually for somebody else. It's not for us. Providing, protecting for someone else. That's the bulk of men's assignment from God Almighty. Right? This is a sophisticated and even intriguing level of low IQ thinking that we're seeing from this woman. I'm telling you, 90% of I'll say 70% of modern women today, if they didn't have a box, we wouldn't like you. We probably wouldn't even protect you. You guys are the users. At least we acknowledge that you want things from us. You guys don't even acknowledge that you're users. You try to turn it into a scenario where your version of using men is classy. She says 100% of the men that she's ever met, 100% of the neutral people she's ever met are men. Never decision makers, never assertive. Could that mean that you're engulfed in a pack of losers? At bare minimum, you attract losers. Right? And this is the issue that we're facing. Everything bad that takes place in a woman's life, somehow it's men's fault. Let's go. I want to introduce you guys to the type of thinking that is associated with a woman not being. Listen, hell, we're going to go ahead and tear this thing up if we're going to tear it up. Let's go. Turbulence, people. Hell, I'll say it. I believe women get dumber when they're not under the leadership of a man. I truly do. As they get older, I believe that. I believe it. Not all of them. Some women are just so phenomenal that they're just going to excel and that they even have the ability to excel another man. But majority of what we're seeing today is not those exceptional women. The majority of what we're seeing today is not that. I believe women's intelligence level, their intellect is compromised the longer that they're not under the leadership of a man. The reason we know is when we have to listen to you guys say stuff like this. Listen, hold on. Let's go. If we're going to go, hell, let's go. Where we at? We're going to turn this into something else. I had no intentions of doing this. I want to let you guys hear some stuff. I want to let you guys hear the caliber of thinking that men, when we hear the thinking, we hear the flaws in the thinking without even having to do any research or things like that. I want to show you guys something. Come on, let's go. Let's go. That's right there. Okay, where is that's right there. Nope. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Is that it? Hold on. How am I missing this now? Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. We'll do this. Let's go. This will be easy. Okay, I want to show you guys some things. How do you guys think it makes us feel when the first couple of seconds we hear a woman talking, we could say, she's talking stupid as hell. Like you're just saying something so extraordinarily ignorant to where you can detect on it right away. Watch this.
Black women are finally saying a man's peace should never be a woman tolerating his disrespect. They're no longer accepting the manipulation, the bare minimum, the abuse, or settling for.
When men start listening to something like this, the first thing that we know is women are abusing men more than men are abusing women. What we do know is when we hear her talking like women are no longer accepting men's disrespect, we know that it's insane that she's trying to paint women as victims. Because we know what women are doing out there because we're doing it with them and to them. That's when this starts sounding crazy to us.
A piece of man just to say they got one.
Listen, when men listen to women like this, we know that she's saying nonsense in order to gain a woman audience. When men hear men like Yada Awakening telling women that men should give them $300,000 for marrying them. Men know that the average, if you're talking about the average man, the average white man makes around $52,000 a year. So we know instantly when we hear Yada say that, we know that's insane. It can't be done. But you guys latch on and worship something that can't be done. We're going to go here. Let's do this. Let's go here. There we go. Now I want you guys to check this stuff out. No, I don't want that one. Give me. Listen to this, people. Listen to this.
Selfish, girl. I'm telling you, be selfish, because I promise you he's being selfish and he's...
When men hear stuff like that, the first thing that comes to our minds is this stupid shit. It didn't sound right to men from the beginning. On what scenario is it intelligent to go in a relationship with selfish tendencies? Listen, I'm going to rewind this. Listen, men know before we even hear too much into it that what she's saying is ignorant as hell.
Selfish, girl. I'm telling you, be selfish, because I promise you he's being selfish and he's not going to stop being selfish for you. I need you to be so selfish that you surprise your damn self. I need you to be so selfish that you ultimately put yourself first every single time. So much so that it shocks you. Be selfish. I need you to be selfish when dating, because a man that
How
really
the
wants
hell does this make sense? What good could come out of this? I need you ladies to have sympathy with us too. I need you guys to have grace with us too, because I'm being honest with you. The things that we hear you guys say, the things that we see you guys endorse, it forces us to look at you guys like you're inferior to us. Like, how could you even listen to that and not know that it's garbage? Let alone, how could you be up under the comments saying, say it, girl. We will never understand you.
going to value the fact that you put yourself first. If you put that man that really wants you, he's going to value the fact that you put yourself first. If you put that man first, if you make everything about him, the world revolving around him, he's only going to care about himself. A man who sees a woman only...
Listen, might I add to you guys, this is a 2-time single mother. And she has the answers to dating, people. She has the answers to dating.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
That's another thing. Let's jump on that. That's another thing that causes men to not understand you women. How the hell can you take on the teachings of women who have messed their lives up worse than yours? Men don't do that. We're not going to any events. We're not going to any speaking engagements, any seminars, unless the person speaking has done significantly more than us in life. You guys are listening to losers give you advice on the areas that they lost and failed in and haven't recovered from yet. This woman still can't get a man. You guys are listening to people whose relationship status isn't any better than yours. You guys are taking advice from people who had 3 children by 3 different men. You guys are taking dating advice from people who have had to go to the STI clinic 3 different times in their life. We don't understand you people.
Praising him, he's going to make the relationship all about him. And don't let him make you feel bad for being selfish. Hell, I promise you, he's being selfish too. He's not thinking about you. He's weighing his options.
How do you know that? How do you know what her man is thinking about? Are you... Listen to what she's telling these women. She's telling these women that their husbands have other women. She's telling these women that their men have rosters and she doesn't even know them. So we know her information has to be flawed. She doesn't even know who she's speaking to. Her internet audience is people who are married to men who don't cheat, never would cheat. But yet she's on the internet telling them that their men have rosters. She's not even getting specific. How are you guys listening to people like this? You don't see the flaw in taking advice from a woman who is a 2-time baby mama and single? Jeez.
Other women, he's building up a whole roster just in case you do one little thing that he doesn't like.
And shout out to all of the ladies who carry themselves well in society today. You know what it is. Shout out to all of the ladies who take care of their children, all of the ladies who dress respectfully. Shout out to all of the feminine women who are true to God, honest, decent women. Shout out to Johans over here with the PayPal. I appreciate the love.
What we've got.
I appreciate the PayPal. That's crazy that you guys would take dating advice from people who are losing in dating. I can't even fathom what the understanding is in that.
Black men really need to take accountability for how angry the black woman is in the poor selection of men that the Black men really need to take accountability for how angry the black woman is in the poor selection of men that the black women have to choose from.
Do you believe that this woman in real time, an adult, grown woman, just blamed men for the behavior of the women? What scenario is that possibly achievable? Do we go to Alaska and blame the Alaskan men for the Alaskan women's behavior? How does that work out like that? That means none of us are actually responsible for even our successes. Right? Are the black men also responsible when your sons turn out amazing, ladies? Are the black men also responsible for the degrees that you get? We're not responsible for any of your achievements and your success, but we're responsible for your attitude? That is the most cowardly assertion that I've ever heard. And a woman like that is only reserved for one thing and one thing only. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Followed by the infamous belt buckle jingle. Do you know how much of a coward I would feel like blaming my problems on other people? I have grandiose visions for myself. I strive for greatness, above average greatness. I won't allow somebody else to keep me from achieving my goals. Yet she says black men are responsible for black women's poor behavior. So what does that say about the black girls right now who are 17 years old, live in Brentwood, never been to any hoods in their life, but they've heard Sexy Red, they've heard Glorilla, and now they have that ratchet, messed up behavior and thinking? See, that's where your surmise starts to fall apart. The culture that you guys perpetrate is the reason for your behavior.
Black women are saluted for being strong soldiers, holding down men, holding down the household as single mothers by themselves.
You're not saluted for being strong women, holding down men, women, and you don't hold anything down. Your kids turn out terrible. And men don't even know when men have children with you, they don't even know who the real father is. Get the hell out of here with that stuff.
Men are not raising their sons to be what the community needs, which leaves black women with a poor selection of men to choose from.
The reason that black women have a poor selection of men to choose from is because all of the bastard men, the boys that you had by multiple different men, they grew up, and that is the selection of men you have from now. Single parent broken boys that you and your sisters and your girlfriends had. Now you're dating each other's sons. Not dating, excuse me. Getting your butthole played with.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang.
Let's go. Let's get some more of this single mama dating advice.
Society has this norm: if you don't have a man, if you're not married, then you don't have anything. So now women are forced to choose. Then you want to wonder why she's angry, why she's operating in this masculine energy. You're not giving her a
You're angry because you're selfish. You're angry because you're childish. You're angry because you have to have the last word. You're angry because you want everything and you want to give nothing. That's why you're angry.
choice.
I could run through her content effortlessly and show out all of the areas that are flawed. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to do it.
Because a man isn't going to date someone that's not his type. So why are you?
We date women who aren't our type all of the time. Probably close to 99% of men would prefer not to deal with a woman who has children, but we do it anyway. Because we're not as selfish.
For one, if you're a woman that doesn't have kids, doesn't want a man with kids, why are you even giving a man who has kids the time of day? Oh, I want to try something different and see. But you already know that you don't want to deal with somebody who has kids because you don't want kids.
I agree with that part. If you don't want to deal with a man who has kids, don't entertain a man who has kids. But I don't even know where that came into the clip at. That was stupid.
What I'm talking about. Men go after exactly what they want.
No, we don't. We're exactly the exact opposite. Men will take something and not judge her for what she looks like right now while she's in that diner serving me my coffee, looking all beat up, worn, whooped, and torn down. We don't judge her for how we see right now. We judge her based on what she could be if I had her.
They do not change those standards up for anybody.
This is what I tell you, majority of her content is just really dumb. It goes against all realities. Listen, I'm going to let this play.
Want kids. That's what I'm talking about. Men go after exactly what they want. And they do not change those standards up for anybody. Women?
We do. Very often, probably 90% of the time, we change our standards. Most men want a very beautiful, fit, and feminine woman, a Baywatch chick, but that's not what we end up with. We end up with something that will suffice us. Something that is not what I wanted, but I can rock with that. Occasionally, men get what they wanted, but that's a certain caliber of man. The majority of men have taken on a woman who has kids by another man or a woman who's older. We don't particularly prefer older women, but we'll do it.
You'll change and maneuver the way that you want to date because you see the potential in somebody or you want to see where the relationship goes. In the first few conversations that you're having with this man, it should let you know if you guys should continue moving on into getting to know each other more.
And don't let him ask you to help him build up the table. It needs to be already sturdy.
You see how these ignorant... This is what I told you guys. Almost every one of her clips that I saw, they're flawed. You guys see me running through them right now.
And don't let him ask you to help him build up the table. It needs to be already sturdy before you sit down.
Other communities don't operate like that. They get together and they plan on what they're going to build together. This fool here, okay, she's talking about the man needs to already be established when you come into his life. Well, and an already established man, you don't qualify for him. This woman alone has 2 children. She's a single mom 2 times. What the hell do you think you qualify for? I'll tell you.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang.
You qualify to get those drawers stretched out. Followed by the infamous belt buckle jingle. See, what we're experiencing here is we are in a society where it has been normalized for men to tolerate anything. And that's why women have troubles dealing with certain calibers of men. Like women don't like, it's not going to go smooth with you dealing with me. You're not going to get your way with me. You're not going to be able to walk over me. You're not even going to think that you're not even going to ever arrive at a place where you believe that you can. Just treat somebody bad for your personal gain. Manipulate and deceive.
Oh, every time you with that man, he's always complaining, whining, talking about his struggles and his troubles. This is the best advice I can give you. Leave him. He shouldn't even be focused on dating. He shouldn't even be trying to find companionship. He needs to be worried about those daily troubles that he's struggling with. And you don't need to come into...
Okay, I want you guys to hear something.
He shouldn't even be focused on dating. He shouldn't even... Every time you're with that man, he's always complaining. Oh, every time you're with that man, he's always complaining, whining, talking about his struggles and his troubles. This is the best advice I can give you. Leave him. He shouldn't even be focused on dating. He shouldn't even be trying to find companionship.
Okay, so according to her logic, she's on social media complaining about the issues she has with dating. She's on social media. She has 2 children. She's a single mom of 2. So according to her logic, if she hasn't gotten it figured out yet, should you guys be listening to her? Did you hear what she said? She said that guy who has those dating issues that he's trying to figure out, he shouldn't even be dating. You shouldn't be listening to him. She's a single mom of 2, constantly complaining about the current dating crisis. Should you be listening to her?
He needs to be worried about those daily troubles that he's struggling with. And you don't need to come into his life to try to help him fix it. You got your own life you trying to handle.
You hear how ignorant these people are? You don't need to come in his life and try to help him fix it. That's the exact formula all other more productive communities than us do. They come in, one will work. We're going to work on your credit first, babe. And then we're going to come back to mine. Whew. Do you know how impossible it would be to achieve any progress with any community if this was their women? I'm going to play that again.
Be trying to find companionship. He needs to be worried about those daily troubles that he's struggling with. And you don't need to come into his life to try to help him fix it. You got your own life you trying to handle.
Other communities aren't thinking like that. They're coming into each other's lives to benefit each other and make them stronger as a whole. The man will set a tone to where we're going to spend 6 months of my paychecks and your paychecks going towards making your credit better. After we get your credit up in the 650, somewhere around that, we're going to use our resource. That's what other communities do. And then you look up and both of their credit is on par. Could you imagine being intertwined with women who think like this?
He needs to go and have his table prepared and then come and ask you to sit at it.
If you want to know whether or not her logic is feasible, ask yourself what society would look like if nobody got in relationships until they all got their shit together.
The only thing you're going to do is add to what he's already done.
This is what I tell you guys about how easy it is to just pick apart. Like, I could go through her stuff like effortlessly and just pick things wrong. Effortlessly. Shout out to Lawless over here with the super chat, rocking out with us. Lawless said their feet are not held to the fire or life and repercussions. They're children who evade punishment. That child will be out of control, 100%. 100%. And that's why I say the greatest damage that American society did to women it coddled all of their falls. It coddled them and padded all of their falls. Now they're in society to where the universe is really the universe for real, and our realities are really our realities, and there's nobody to come save these women from the bad decisions that they made. A lot of women are currently, right now, today, this very minute, on this show, struggling inside of what they believe is bad luck, dating, and dealing with bad men. It's not. You've been X'd out of the game. If you've been years without being in a serious relationship, right, with a decent man, if you have multiple children by multiple different men, if you're significantly overweight, right, if you went through a hoe phase for longer than you were supposed to, you've probably been X'd out of the game. One of the key symptoms to being X'd out of the game is going years without being in a relationship with a significant other, or going years just getting your booty played with.
Bang, 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 bang. Daddy, bang.
It's not a coincidence that you've been years without some man finding value in you. You're cursed almost. You've been X'd out of the game. Those bad decisions that you guys make, they come with hellified repercussions. And for those of you who don't believe me and you're thinking to yourself, God would reduce me to dying long and not finding happiness or the love of my life just because I had 2 or 3 children and had 2 or 3 different men. It's not God. Guess what the universe does to men? Men have had their brains blown out for calling the wrong man a bitch. It's not just you. Very, very bad decisions come with catastrophic repercussions. You guys being irresponsible with something as powerful as sexuality, you gotta know that there's repercussions coming behind that. Again, some of you have HIV, some of you have herpes. Some of you have things that you can't get rid of, which will significantly limit the qualified applicants for you as it pertains to dating. People, listen, get us past the 200 mark for the first time. Get us past the 200. We have 13 people hit that like button, and we will have 200 likes up here. Let's get it together, people. People on YouTube, tap that thumbs up button. Get us over here to the 200 likes for the first time. And while we're waiting on people to get us past the 200 likes mark, any of you who have questions, come on up. I'm going to drop a link down in the YouTube, or if you're on TikTok, you can come on up. If you have any dating questions, financial questions, lifestyle questions, or disagreements, come on up. Let's have a respectful conversation. We are 7 people away from our first time hitting 200 likes on YouTube. People, let's go. We are 6 likes away. People, let's go. Let's go. We are 5 likes away from our first time having 200 likes on the board, people. Let's go, people. We are 5 likes away. 4 likes away. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's go, people. Hit that like button on YouTube, people. Set it off. Set it off. We need one more, people. We need one more. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones in this situation. Getting us past the 200 mark. You already know what it is. All right, people. If we have no questions or no disagreements, we're going to wrap up and get up out of here. If there are no women who have questions or disagreements, we are about to get up out. If you have questions, come on up on TikTok, Instagram, or salute, salute, salute for 200 likes over here on YouTube. All right, people, if we have no more activity taking place, we are about to be up out of here. I appreciate you guys for rocking out with us. I hope you got something out of the show. Again, this is not a woman-hating channel. There are some of our shows where we have to get down on women more than we typically would like to, but there's also male shows for the men where we set in on the men and we dissect and decapitate the men for not being better fathers, right? And things of that nature. This is just a show of growth. That's what we do over here. We don't coddle you. We try to do all of the things that we can do to get you the best possible outcomes in life because it's relatively simple. It's relatively simple. Listen, people, we are out of here. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Shout out to Miss LaTarsha. Have a good night, Miss LaTarsha. I appreciate the love. Salute, salute, salute.
You come at the king, you best not miss.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Dead man. Dead man walking. Never talk to me like that again. You hear me? Huh?
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to Death Row.
Say good night to the bad guy. Say good night to the bad guy. Bang, 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 bang. Daddy. Bang, 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 bang. Daddy. She belongs to the street. She belongs to the street. Get over here.
Next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, yeah?
Oh yeah, no, it's done. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
How much do you weigh?
180.
Goodbye.